Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is May 4th, 2026, and it could potentially be 4 days away from some kind of an event that has leadership, at least in this country, concerned. They were talking 12, what would it be now, 8 days ago? 12 days, unfortunately, somebody said, and that would be right around May 8th or 9th. It's weird to me because there's been a couple of posts, I guess, about Trump talking about some kind of a lockdown or whatever to prepare for some kind of an emergency, or I don't know what that has to do. It's very unclear. Maybe if you know what that's about, you can comment. All right then, so let us see what's going on with the planetary circumstance, shall we? What is happening? Excuse me. Oh my goodness, we got some sage here. I did burn a whole bowl of it, just because I like to do that occasionally. Alrighty then, everybody. Planetary circumstance. What's happening? We got the Knight of Pentacles. Steadfast and dedicated. Steadfast and dedicated. Excuse me. Reliable. In the challenge position, we've got the Four of Pentacles. Control. Gaining control of a foundation, bringing security to a foundation. Somebody's trying to be possessive over your energy. Somebody was trying to control your energy while leaving you in scarcity. Yeah. Very big sounding divine masculine stated, her soul is weary. You will not be destroying this soul. In the subconscious, we've got the Ten of Cups. So there's love. So this could be your knight. He's here to rescue you. An actual knight in shining armor. Ooh. With love and family on the mind. In the recent past, we've got the moon. It could have been something deceptive. Something has been hidden. Somebody's being sneaky. Yeah, somebody was being deceptive under the moon in the shadows where nobody is looking. Tears and tears and tears. Intentions and expectations. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Setbacks. Somebody's got the moon. Somebody's under an illusion. Somebody's cast an illusion. We got repeating patterns. Intentions, expectations. Somebody's afraid. There's a hidden fear. The Knight is here. Gaining control over this foundation for a Ten of Cups for a family. In the near future, King of Cups, and Ten of Wands, overloaded, hard work, burdens. King of Cups could be heavily burdened. They could be bringing an end to a burden. They may be persevering, taking on a heavy load. They could be on overload. These divine masculines are really carrying a heavy load at this time. It's massive. And it's not a game. The lens is being looked through. Empress. Oh, the Empress. Divine Mother. Divine Feminine. Well, now that wasn't the way that was supposed to go. In the environment. Hanged Woman. Hanged Woman. Let go. New insights. Surrender. Hanged Woman. 9 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. Commitment. What's that? Let go. Surrender. Sacrifice. Hopes and fears. Judgment. Outgoing energy. Justice in the reverse. Dishonesty. Injustice. No accountability. Corruption. Well, okay, well, what's going on? What is going on? Page of Swords. Clever. Page of Swords is suffering some kind of a heartache, some kind of a trauma. 9 of Wands. They might be fatigued. Oh, the Devil. You endured the Devil? Or the Devil is determined? You persevered the Devil? You were able to... So what the heck? Okay, so we got Page of Swords trying to, what? They're being clever. They're communicating about some kind of a trauma, some kind of a, there's a divorce, there's some kind of a betrayal. So there could be a page that is betraying somebody. What? Determination? Trying to determine. The Devil's determined? Or maybe they're determined to cause a tower for the Devil? Somebody's in despair over the Queen of Cups in a King of or Knight of Wands energy. Maybe they're determined and feelers and they're moving forward. Well, we got some stuff going on. What the heck is happening, man? Sacrifice. Wealth. There's new insights. A surrender. Somebody has to let go. Somebody has to let go of your life of luxury. What the heck is going on, man? This is weird. There's new insights. Due to the new insights about the Hanged Woman, you're getting a life of luxury. Because you had been sacrificed so many times. There's new insights. Because of your sacrifice, you're getting a life of luxury. Well, that's the way I see it. Somebody might see it differently, but we got collaboration here. Well, let's check it out. We got the Knight of Pentacles here in the central energy, all right? What's going on with the Knight of Pentacles? They're persevering. Oh, I love you. Oh, Knight of Pentacles loves you. Might be making a proposal. They're looking here. We got Four of Pentacles. So there's a challenge here. The challenge is what? We got scarcity, control, miss you. What the fuck? We got a Knight of Pentacles. He wants to propose to you. He's challenged because, I don't know what, because of this possessiveness, leaving you alone, missing somebody. Now they want a 10 of Pentacles with you. What's going on? Or they could just be challenged that because people left you alone in that state and now they want to offer you everything or share everything with you. Let's look it up. What's going on? Oh, shit. He wants your 10 of Cups. He wants to side hustle your 10 of Cups. What the fuck? He's challenged because what? Because you're tired? Because you have control of your foundation and you're alone? He wants to come in? He wants to side hustle your 10 of fucking Cups? What's going on? He's thinking about what he did? Or what's going on? The Moon in the recent past? Deception. Sweet talk. Somebody's being deceptive. Deceptive sweet talk. We've got the Wheel in the reverse. Repeating patterns. I try real hard not to get an attitude. Sometimes it's a challenge. Bad luck, repeating patterns, repeating patterns. Somebody's hiding their true intention. They're coming forward with a sweet talk. They want to stop or cause setbacks for a father and a child. King of Cups is here with a burden overload. Ten of Wands. King of Cups could be in a Ten of Wands energy. Shocking news. They might be receiving shocking news. So King of Cups is here in a Ten of Wands energy. So it could be that he and she have received shocking news about the Empress. And their fairy tale. They're thinking about this divine feminine and the illusions that they cast because of the Hanged Woman, because of the new insights, because of her sacrifice. There's a life of luxury and collaboration and commitment. We've got Wish in the reverse. Judgment is here. Hopes and fears on those who've been doing love spells. And Justice is in the reverse. There could be some kind of a punishment for the corruption. So we got the shady mask wearer being fake busy. Miss Shady fake busy. So we got deceive, no accountability, injustice, shady fake busy, living in the moment. So they were what? They were tagging a twin flame to live in the moment, but they were happily single. What the hell is going on here? Shady fake busy. Somebody wants to live in the moment. So what's going on? Injustice, dishonesty, imbalance, unfairness, legal matters for the shady fake busy living in the moment on the twin flames energy. Shady fake busy, the shady mask wearer, they copycat the actor or the actress living in the moment, living as a twin flame, but they're not. It's coming to an end. So this is the end. They were happily single. I mean, so they were, what the hell? A shady mask wearer was posing as a twin flame, living in the moment, but they were happily single. There's a funeral here, but we've got divine masculine, round and round. And somebody's go in a downward spiral because you're turning your back on them. You're rejecting them. All right. So outgoing energy is there's an injustice, unfairness of a shady mask wearer, a pretend personality, a pretend identity, fake busy, living in the moment as a twin flame, but they're happily single, doing you, pretending to be you. There's a funeral. So it could be whoever's wearing a mask, living in the moment, fake busy. They didn't create, they didn't produce, they didn't share. but we've got living in the moment, twin flames, happily single, funeral. So it could be the fake busy mask wearer who has been posing as a twin flame, and by unaliving their twin, whatever, we got a funeral here. We got divine masculine, round and round, and we've got ego death, turning your back, rejected. What's going on, Spirit? This is what's going on, man. Somebody's in chaos because you're turning your back. Empress, luxury, phony, trickster. So they created illusions around this Empress. Everybody can see it. They're drinking to cope. They're drinking to cope because they popped the question and then downloaded their toxic lifestyle, the energy of it, into a divine feminine, and they were fake. And then they replaced her, copycatted her, replaced her. And then after a sacrifice, they're fucked up over you now and running. Oh no, what the? Because this is just a copycat, a bumping heads, siphoning somebody else's memories. This is a psycho, unemployed psycho. We're closing this cycle of these sex addict siphoners of energy, and they're gonna get arrested. Your GPS is a secret from these arrogant, no strings attached bullshit artists. And there's heartbreak here. They're heartbroken because the queen bee is suing them. And it's goodbye. She and hers are going, they're going to go away. And they're suing them for everything they got. These guys are complaining that everything's getting transferred. They owe everything. And the thing of this is that they've siphoned so much life force out of the living that they owe the queen mother, they owe divine feminine, they owe the mothers every ounce of life that they took. The vital force that she produced and brought into the realm, and the spirit and the soul connection and the upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribe and their wealth and their value. These people, man, they're in trouble. They owe all that life force. And there's thousands of years, I guess, these guys have been living. They keep changing their identity. And to be quite honest with you, I think these people have kids just so when they get old, they can transfer themselves into the vessel that's housing whoever their kid is. And it's getting real convoluted. They probably have all kinds of personalities or, whatever inside their vessel. And that's probably all why they're all insane, and then transferring that insanity into a sane person's mind and then accusing them of being that so they can go in the fire and pay that karma. I guess that's how they've been offloading it from themselves. These people, they got to share the house of a child, right? And they just do that and do that and do that until it's time to, I don't know, that's wacky. But I think they do that. So there's a Knight of Pentacles, and he's proposing to somebody. Professional situationship advice. He's asking a woman what he should do, how he should go. So he's asking advice from a woman. About healing and growth. He's challenged because we've got this woman here, whoever you are, you've been tied to the freaking foundation, and your soul, the energy of you has been sucked out, right, to fuel the whole thing while you were there, left alone, all by yourself. So now you got somebody there talking to a woman, trying to gather wisdom on how in the heck they can go through with this proposal, right? You got boundaries up. He doesn't know what kind of shadow work you've done. He doesn't know what you've been up to over the last many years. So he doesn't know how to approach you. He's asking this person. He's trying to get advice from a woman on how he should approach you. In the subconscious, there's the 10 of Cups here. And we've got side hustle. We got dead weight. Dead weight. This is ain't a cute accessory. You can't glow if you won't let go. Release, transformation, liberation in the reverse. This fellow has been part of your binding in the past, and he's coming forward wanting to attach himself to this as dead weight. He doesn't want you to let it go. He wants to continue side hustling it. He wants to rebind you. We got the moon and sweet talk. So it's they don't want to stop. They're not stopping. They're not self-aware. We've got the wheel in the reverse. So we've got repeating patterns with a love child. Detachment. Not every soul tie is forever. King of Cups, 10 of Wands, shocking news, fear, stagnation, Netflix jail, you stopped giving, you've got boundaries, you're no longer sharing, they're in Netflix jail, their comfort zone is a trap. So there she is, and here is King of Cups. And if they're stingy with chips, they're stingy with love. You've stopped trying to save people who won't share their snacks. Instead, they snack on you, right? So now there's fairness. You expect things to be fair. You've got your boundaries up. You're no longer sharing with those tricky, phony illusionists who've been effing around with the Empress. The Empress is looking at these fairy tale tricksters like, fool, get away from me. It was her sacrifice that is bringing her a life of comfort. All this stupid illusion that these stingy mofos have been trying to Look, she's got this 10 of cups right there, and you got this jack right over there wanting to come in and propose. He's asking another woman how he should go about it because you've been bound to this foundation, and he needs to continue side hustling your energy. He doesn't want you to be liberated. He's got to come in and bind you somehow. Phony trickster. Because you stopped sharing. He and his woman there are so upset. Because you've got discipline. Your life has been reset. You've been empowered. And you're saying no to the devil. And look at them. They're just wham, wham, wham. You're like, get the F out of here, man. You've got spiritual hygiene. Very good spiritual hygiene, Empress. And these people are just crying freaking wham. Freaking wham. Nothing better than saying no to the devil. And they're crying. And they're looking at all kinds of women like, how should I woo her? What can I do? I mean, we had her bound here. We've never thought that she would ever get free. We left her there all by herself while we sucked the life out of her like a... And she's deleting them. She's deleting them. I heard she's burying someone alive. Who they're talking about, I don't know. It's been many thousands of years and great torturous suffering for the human family. The Queen of Heaven has been emancipated and she's kicking Satan's ass. She doesn't give any shits about their feelings. Her sacrifice is, getting her, there's new insights here, has gained new insights. Her sacrifice and these new insights. So she was innocent. Her sacrifice is bringing prosperity and abundance. A 9 of Pentacles. She's getting it. Cooperation and collaboration with a whole team of experts. But we've got wish in the reverse. So whoever this person is that has been glorifying themselves, that has been happily single, that has been being so freaking vile. You know, when the Queen of Heaven told her, whatever these asshats, these pimps out there, they were given the title of son, according to my perception that's coming in. But they heard S-O-N. She had given them the highest ranking possible in this realm. The blue of the sky and the warmth of and the magnificent power for giving life of the sun. S-U-N. In them. And she was acknowledging it. And in their head, they heard themselves being placed under her. So they called her a pedophile. And they left her alone while pimping out her womb to boys. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. While they harvested her sacral, saying she liked it. Mr. glorifying himself, Mr. Devil Trickster, Mr. Wah, 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 freaking wah, 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 all the way home, back to where you belong, jackass. There's no excuses for what they've done. They're very immature and irresponsible. They've been calling themselves gods, man, while they've violated everyone and everything. over a misperception. They were given the title of the highest glory of the realm, and in their mind, they saw themselves beneath her feet as a mere son, as a child. Stupid. Dumb. Side hustling pieces of shit. Pimping out energy from the unseen of high value people simply because they feel less than. In their head, that's what they believe themselves to be. And who did they punish? The one that tried to give them the highest status possible in this realm. So there's judgment for those who have been doing love spells on divine feminines, on divine masculines, just to get them bound to the energy and then use them in a heinous way. You're free of them. You're free of them. These people that have been comparing themselves to you, doing sex magic and baneful magic, blood magic, trickster, illusionist, whatever, to try to get in the energy, violate, desecrate, and then cast the illusion over you, Empress. And now you're done. You got spiritual hygiene. You know what energy belongs to you. And they can't stick any of this filth on you because you're too high value. You know, and that's the thing. Some people actually spend their life adding value to their soul, becoming what it is these assholes are trying to destroy them for being. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. So it was very unjust, very corrupt. They did not hold themselves accountable. In the outgoing energy, we've got some kind of a punishment for the shady maskwear that has been fake busy. They're not a creator. They didn't create. They didn't produce. They didn't share. They didn't do anything except pretend and hurt people from the unseen. They've been living a nice life, living as a twin flame, but they've been harvesting them and then dressing up in the energy. It's been really good fun for them to, prematurely unalive people and do that. They were happily single, and we got a funeral here. That's how they got it. So their days of happily single and stress-free, whatever, is over. They've been living on the essence of the twin flames, both male and female. Divine masculine is what? Cycles, triggers, lessons. We've got round and round. He could be setting up around and around for these people who had everyone else trapped in it. We'll find out. I think so, because what we got here is they are exhausted watching your reruns, seeing the long history of the desecration, the defilement that they did to you, Empress. Nothing hotter than saying no. Boundaries are sexy, babe. You've got empowerment here. So just be aware, you got a knight here looking for female advice on how they can come up and get in here. They don't know what's going on because Twitter is not your therapist. You don't talk about your spiritual battles. You don't talk about your challenges. You just face them on your own, alone, and then you deal with them. With whatever you got going on inside your internal, your personal universe, whatever. So they're exhausted by watching these reruns of many, many lifetimes of what they have put your soul through, because they know that whatever they did to you is going to be done to them. It's very scary. Divine masculine is setting it up. And they're freaking out. The sacrifice of this empress, whatever it was that she did to be a catalyst or offer serendipity, a shift in direction or clarity, she was able to reveal the truth about what's been going on here with these illusions. And messy does not mean powerful, because when you're in the middle of a major spiritual warfare, it's an inside storm like you would not believe. And people say, well, there is dust on the freaking mantle. And you're like, dude, you know, she's like, her soul is freaking the eye of the storm, and she's in there on the inside making sure she doesn't lose that shit, right? And these guys are out there, her hair is messy. Oh no, she's not worthy, you know? And it's like, dude, you guys are, this is what it is. It's like, these people, you know, they think God above everything, man above a woman, and woman above the child. And it's like, really? They get a freaking little cold or stub their little toe and mama's got to bring them chicken soup or something. And yet she has no value. It's weird to me that the big crybaby is the one that wants all the power and authority by being a trickster, not by actually deserving it. So, yeah, messy does not mean powerless. Everything that they did to you is going back on them. They're waking up this morning. They could actually be like Saturn return is like going to smash them in the face, and they're losing signal. They're having anxiety. They got bad Wi-Fi. They can't hook up to you. So now these people are like, well, if there's medicine in the body, as long as there's medicine in the body, they use this medicine. Apparently, I didn't know what it was, but it sounds like they use this medicine, whatever is in it, a graphene or some a nanobot or something, as a hotspot, a connector, as a bridge and a connector to whatever upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribe you belong to, and to whatever interdimensional timeline shifting your spirit can do. So these are Agent Smith entities that can slip into a 4D space, and Agent Smith, a sleeping spirit, and then move around in these spaces according to whatever connection they can make with the temple, the flesh. Gives them the opportunity to connect to the spirit and then to all these other spaces. So, but they're losing signal. So whatever they think about this medicine, I mean, obviously there are far more intelligent people in this multiverse than these ones. So they obviously will be able to come up with some kind of a solution to whatever these people feel is their ticket, right? Yes, it sucks. No, you're not dying. Silence, silence, silence. Go silent. No more silence. The universe, there will be silence. The universe does not take X back requests. Why? Because this is a side hustling mofo. The only reason this dude and his little dudette are coming in to offer you a freaking proposal is because they need to side hustle you. That's how they get their money. You got this 10 of Cups. You got this Nine of Pentacles. He's working with this woman here, trying to get advice on how they can recontract you. And the crazy thing is that God's not going to let that happen. Anybody trying to come forward with the intention of side hustling you now will be instantly met with regret. But they're psycho. And they've been convincing themselves of their own authority for so long, they can't let it go. And they're addicted to the energy of the people, and the soul, and the identity. They can't let it go. They'll have an identity crisis. They're trying desperately to hold themselves together, to be viable. The universe isn't giving you back because Nasty Jack left you alone with bare minimum. You had to buy your own damn flowers there in your own damn house Nobody was coming to be there. Look at that immature little asshole. He's like, you give me my person back. And the universe is like, are you kidding me? You gave her crumbs while you sat around writing dream little fantasies for people, you know? No devotion whatsoever. They got devil energy. They've been spewing it all over into the freaking world while telling everybody, hey, I'm an accountable person. They've been vomiting their shit all over everybody and then saying that they did the work. But this is what they are. They're like, bleh, sex, reckless sex, anger, arguments. They vomit this shit all over the world, and then they try to convince others that they are an accountable person. But God sees better. Because, look, you and your person made it out alive, barely. You're very resilient. You and your little king, your little prince, whatever, or big. I mean, God, please don't get an ego problem. Like apparently the last guy got when he was given the highest freaking honors a mother could give. He saw himself as the lowest form of life that he could think of. Because he's stupid. You're not on clearance, babe, and neither is he. You barely made it out alive, and yes, it looks a little bit messy. But God's no longer giving credit to spiritual idiots who've been lazy piece of shits with a very low bar for their life. Heartbreak is not getting recycled. These people, the only thing that they did was create chaos in the world and suck the life out of everybody and have a sweet time eating ice cream that they didn't earn the money for. Let go already. Let go. Let the F go. Let the F go. This little nasty Jack, this little POS devil, he's out there crying, oh, she needs medicine. She needs medicine. Well, as long as there's medicine, we can do this, this, this. No, he owes you silence. He must leave the collective mental body. Everybody needs this trickster phony effing around with the mental body of people to be silent. Just be quiet, man. You know what? He wasn't listening to divine guidance. He was out here making shit up. And the problem is they genetically modified themselves or something. They CRISPR'd themselves, combined themselves with some other species and called themselves superior. It's weird. They're whacked, man. And they can't feel anything except, you know, this weird need. So, girl, blocking is free. Delete, delete, delete. Delete the F-leet. Because nobody's going to hop on board your chariot and take a ride into your beautiful home. Yeah, exactly. Your pain was not content. They have no idea what you did to get here or who you turned into while you were being buried and undergoing such extreme suffering and siphoning. They got to get you back. It's bad decisions, dude. They can't sleep. They cannot sleep. They can't siphon you. And you're like, nobody's coming to take your spotlight. These a-holes did not believe in love. They didn't believe in themselves. They thought the world ran on the freaking their ability to get a fucking hard on. Everything comes from the fella's hole. Fuck. No. Dumbass. Oh, what do you mean we didn't know the wisdom of the mother? Ah, They buried the mother, called her a pedophile, treated her like one, and raised themselves way the hell up there when they could not even recognize the freaking blessing and the greatness that had been bestowed upon them. Well, it's no longer being offered. They're seen for what they are, and God didn't ghost you. He blocked them for you. Because you're the main character. Because self-love looks good on you. You did the work. You didn't go out there and F with anybody's mind. Everything that you did was with a genuine, pure, and true heart. And when they decided they didn't want it, you gave it to yourself and your inner divine. And these assholes sponsored the circus. Because when the mother said that they were the son, they saw themselves as some low-level SON who she owed a good time to. They've been out here trying to say what it is that earns the way. And they've been disconnected from the very start because they couldn't even see the power in their own mind, in their own heart. They're foul from the get-go. Side hustling nasty Joes. Siphoning the love out of divine feminines and then treating them like hoes. Take it back, take it back. Take it all back, take it all back. Yeah, they're going to have to go there and they're going to have to eat it all up by themselves. They're real mad. They're still out there. They think that if they can get the proper sex advice, you know, that they'll be able to save their ass. But God is not, absolutely will not ever give this kind of power back to them. Take the personality out of it. Don't make it personal. The power that is held within this Empress, it cannot go back to them. It cannot be permitted. They have done too much damage with an authority that they should never have been accessing. So there's boundaries. There's boundaries. So you got a Knight of Pentacles looking for advice on how to, professional situationship advice on how they can propose to you. She's telling him how to go about roping you in. Looks like an angel, but it's a devil inside. And they've had you bound for a long time. They tried to suck you dry, man. What? Leaving you there alone. Alone, alone, alone. And you didn't complain. Twitter is not your therapist. Not every shadow work session needs a public post. You did not post about it. They don't know what the hell you did. They don't know who you are. You've got boundaries here. But this woman and this man are devils wearing white robes, masks. Attacked. You're not attacked. They sent somebody after you, but you didn't get attacked. High Priestess. Grounded High Priestess who has knowledge. You didn't attack them. You didn't attack them in the past, and so therefore there's forgiveness and armor. You didn't become malicious. You didn't attack them. It was a lie. They said, I believe they tried to pin their own violent behavior on you while they were side hustling you, playing in your energy. They know that you got a 10 of Cups here. They don't want you to be liberated. They don't want you to let them go. This is dead weight. They don't want you to let it go. They won't let go. So we've got inspiration. They won't. The side hustling pimp hoe won't let go. This is a devil wearing a white robe. This is a masculine and a feminine. They're talking together of how they can trap you. The moon is here. Somebody's in fear. They're hiding. They're trying to be, they could be coming into your dreams, sweet talking you in the dreams. You're not having any anxiety. You don't make decisions based in fear. These people, they're trying, be careful of what you say, you know, because they'll come and do a thing, you know, and that's, of course, man. Threaten, threaten, threaten. Fear, fear, fear. Don't speak, hide. Don't you dare rise. Don't you dare become a potential leader. Don't you dare speak your opinion, because nobody cares about your perception. And that's exactly what they said in the very beginning. They did not like the perception. But the perception that they did not like was their own misperception. And they didn't even ask for clarification. They made assumptions, and then they proceeded to nearly destroy everything based on their own idea of themselves that they thought came out of the mouth of a divine feminine. She paid them the highest honor, and what they heard was the lowest. Why? Because it's what they are. They know what they are. And when she used the words as a metaphor, they became what they heard. They became what they discovered inside of themselves. And it had nothing to do with her, who gave them the highest honor. They're uneasy. You're not making decisions based in fear. Whatever they say, they try to get you to be quiet. Don't speak. You're going to be afraid. Somebody's going to come in and break your door down. They're going to come in the backyard. They're going to do a thing, and they're talking about weapons. And are you, do you have muscular structure? Do you know karate? Do you have military experience? They talk about this. What are her reflexes like? You know, they say these kinds of things just to try to cause some kind of a paranoia or whatever. And I don't honestly know. Maybe they truly are strategizing on how to go do a thing. But it sounds kind of to me like their main goal is just try to agitate the mind and the waters of the body and create some kind of fear energy. And it's been going on for me for over 20 years, and that's my current perception. Grounded. So they're uneasy here because the wheel is not turning for them. So there's the moon. They're afraid about this sweet talk. You're not making, or this sweet talk. They're trying to say, oh, hey, you know, I'll do whatever. You know, I'll be your fella. I'll be your protector. But the thing about it is that this woman, everyone, there was nobody protecting her. There was a whole lot of them violating her. There wasn't anybody leading, guiding, caring for. There was a whole lot of devils assaulting her, filing false reports with the ancestors, while they sucked the freaking soul out of her, the S-O-L, that the S-U-N pours into in a sacred union, so that the golden egg can form between their rainbows. Fucking dumb shits. And grow a whole new soul. I feel kind of emotional how they could take something so sacred and twist it so freaking vilely. Punishing the woman for what they themselves see in themselves. Accusing her of accusing them of being that. It's wild. It's wild. So, there's no longer making decisions out of fear. They're very uneasy. They can't get you to be quiet. They can't get you to knock you off your rocker or to just be uneasy about anything. You're just like doing whatever it is you do because God walks with you. And because the mother may have said something that brought you comfort. So the wheel is not turning for them. There is repeating patterns. So they got to repeat a cycle. Because the love child is grounded. They can't feed seeds of fear into your mind and get you to respond in a negative way. They can't get you unsettled. So they're losing signal. It's like they need to agitate the energy in your body in order to get a certain frequency that they can connect to. So while there may be medicine in the body, they can use that medicine as a bridge and a connector to actually harden the waters or cause some kind of a emotional trigger in the water to kind of concentrate some kind of negative energy into the internal water. But they're losing signal because you're grounded. You're not getting agitated. You're not in fear. You're accepting it, whatever it be. And you're just waiting patiently to find out what that is. And you got to be happy in the moment because this might be all you have. And why would I want to waste my precious moment thinking about them anyway? I'd rather not. So you got the King of Cups here. They're in a Ten of Wands energy. They could be overloaded. There's shocking news. Girl, your comfort zone is a trap. And the King of Wands is in a Ten of Wands energy. They thought that it would be this way forever, but the Empress is here. She's not powerless, and she's emancipated and free, and she's no longer serving them. So they have to try to rope her back in to this side hustle system. They need her 10 of Cups, and they need her 9 of Pentacles. Love. Love has boundaries. If they're stingy with chips, they're stingy with love. And you have stopped trying to save people who will not share anything with anybody. It's about reciprocity, fairness, and boundaries. Love doesn't just lay down and allow every foul thing in the freaking universe to... That's not how love works. It's the way that it worked while it was in a prisoner of war situation, but that's not the situation any longer. At this point in time, that's not the situation any longer. So the Empress is here. She's very abundant. Messy doesn't mean powerless. Chaos is her superpower. She's the eye of the storm. Like Carrie. Chaos is her superpower, but she uses it wisely. So while everybody says she's like messy, look at that messiness over there, they have no idea what kind of storm has been waging on the inside. These entities tried to take her out with the storm, and instead of destroying her, she claimed the storm as her own power. And they're like, oh no, we don't know what she did. What did she become? Who is she? What happened? She never attacked anybody. She didn't fight with anybody. She was all by herself while they siphoned her. They thought she was dead because she was so quiet. They thought she was dead because she was so quiet. She never attacked anybody. And now here she is, the eye of the storm that they tried to force feed her and take her out with. But she's got excellent spiritual hygiene. And she's got excellent boundaries. She's sexy, babe. And of course they want her back. They need her. Oh, they had such a great time siphoning the vital force out of her temple, calling themselves special. And now the devil's crying. Ooh. But apparently there's another fight or something. I don't know. The devil's crying about past lives. Because, oh, big. We got opinions. Maybe nobody cares about their opinions. Maybe they had South Node opinions about you. Maybe they told lies about you. You got this big, beautiful heart. Maybe they told lies about you. This trickster, phony, illusionist. It could be that nobody believes them anymore. We got opinions. That's number 9. Opinions, number 9. The faster your star rises, the more naysayers will try to keep you down under the guise of being helpful. Have you ever noticed that when you have a great idea, people will try to pick holes in it. Keep your goals away from the trolls. Be wise about who you share your ambitions with. Make sure to only open up about plans to your most supportive and loving friends. Trust yourself. Make it happen. And when it's a huge success, haters' opinions won't mean anything to you. So the faster your star rises, the more naysayers will try to keep you down. They could not keep you down. Your star rose too fast. Their opinions about you failed. They could not keep up with the truth of who you obviously are. Your sacrifice here has earned you the 9 of Pentacles because you have offered the truth, new insights. You're innocent here, and you've got these devils wearing angels' white robes trying to coach people on how to re-bind you to a marriage contract, a Knight of Pentacles. Well, it's what this says. 3 of Pentacles here. So in the environment, your sacrifice has earned you prosperity, or has brought you prosperity, because you have cracked the illusion of this devil. So there's teamwork and commitment. And we've got wish in the reverse for those. So whoever has been immature, irresponsible, and they haven't been holding themselves accountable, they're not going to get what they wish. So there's no wish come true for these people who hurt people on purpose for gain. You're not going to share your wealth with them. Why would you? People who siphoned life force vitality from yourself and others. You got this 10 of Cups and a 9 of Pentacles. You're an Empress who had to you had to claim the storm and become the eye of it in order to survive this crap. And now they want to rebind you. That's the way love goes. Well, I suppose we've got memories. And listen, maybe people are starting to remember what you said to them. They're not getting their wish come true. They're irresponsible. You tried to warn them. You tried to lift them up to the highest that they could be. And in their mind, they heard you call them a little baby bumblebee. I don't know, man. But they sure got butthurt over it and started doing freaking love spells on everybody, trying to bind these powerful divine feminines who dared to call them the sun. How dare you call me a little one? I'm a man. I'm a man. Fuck. They decided that they didn't like those teachers' perceptions. So there's judgment here for what they've been doing. They've been, the Most High can see what has been going on here with especially the divine feminines here. There's been a big bad, freaking lots of mojo, spell work of all different kinds, all different beautiful talents, skillful, willful people who all believed a story that was false. So there's judgment. Here there is a revelation about these love spells and this messing with the mental body and the unions and the way all of this stuff has been happening here. So there, unfollow equals self-care, and we've got imagine. So because of this mental, so we got a lot of these wacky devils, man. They got themselves hooked into our transmitter receiver, our consciousness, and they have been kind of driving these weird freaking soap operas and radio shows of anger and of depression and self-loathing and, you know, trigger wounding and all of that crap, man. It's so bad. So you are free in the imagination. Your imagination is free. Your mind is free. Your intellectual property is yours. Although we got Side Hustle and Joe over here or whatever, there's still a few of them left that seem to have a connection. And that's probably from centuries of life and birth, and tagging and freaking torture and this weird trauma bonding obsession. Trying to damage and eventually drain all of the value out of a soul. SOL for the woman, SUN for the men. That's how I see it. That's how it's coming through for me. And it seems to me that when these guys heard that so long ago, they immediately took themselves down a few pegs and they did not even try to reach. They just decided to suck it out of everybody that was down here at their level and didn't give them the opportunity to go up because they themselves didn't want to. They couldn't see it in them. It was very unjust. So we got shady mask wearers there who are fake busy. They're living in the moment a very good life of pleasure, harvesting twin flames, assuming the identity of a twin flame. But it's really just a devil that sacrificed them and has been drinking of their trapped energy somewhere out there in a freaking little box, in some little timeline. So they were happily single, living a life that was stress-free. And now there's a funeral. It's the end of it. Divine masculine going round and round and round. He's setting it up. These cycles, these lessons for these ones. Everything that was done to this empress and others will be done to them. All this side hustling, draining nearly the entirety of her value out of her soul, her inner sun. We were wrong. Oh, geez. So Divine Masculine is setting up the round and round for these ones. And they're watching the reruns of what they've done to you. And they're like, oh my gosh. Because every nasty thing they did to you from the beginning to the end will be done to them, according to what I heard the Divine say. And yeah. The Magician, or maybe you, he, maybe they're restoring temperance. They used you, perhaps. Your beautiful skill, your upper dimensional authority and ability. Or maybe, yeah, okay, so we've got a magician who was creating temperance by sacrificing the goddess. That's how he was bringing temperance. He was out here, this magician, he was out here like, oh, I'm so great. I'm a god. Oh, yes, I can fix everything. Problem is, he needs her power. And he doesn't have it anymore. So the things are falling apart. Things are falling apart. So we've got childlike patience. Childlike patience. Well, we got the rabbit and patience. Like all the pieces had to align. Everything had to come into balance. Like the gears of a magnificently large clock. Everything kind of has to click just right before the time can strike, right? So we got the gatekeepers in the secret garden, speaking up about past lives, about self-care and joy and strength. So, yes, so, and it's time for you to rest and recover from this weird isolation that they had you buried under. So, the abundance that you were supplying with the community and that you will be supplying a new community is no longer being provided to those people who sacrificed you over and over again in the past, left you in the dark. A saint. They gave you these little wings in the dark. You're out there finding all these little lights, whatever. You're a saint. And now you're armored up. You're armored with the knowledge. You're the caretaker who brings healing to everybody. And these people, man, they really did not like it. When you tried to put them above you and tell them that they were the sun that brought life to everything, including your own inner SOL, well, they saw themselves as low-level devils. And that's what they were. It's so wild to me that this amazing divine feminine paid them such an honor and they heard the exact opposite and then tortured her for centuries. Fine, she says. You want to give me this storm? You want to give me this storm. So there's probably some storm god out there doing magic or however it is he does it. And he's got all his buddies. They're going to give this bitch the biggest storm. She'll never come out of it. Oh, we're going to side hustle the very last bit of her soul. Yes, we will. And then we're going to go right up in there and wear it in the heaven that will steal. I don't know, man. And just now, the song, they call it mellow yellow. And I don't know why, okay? They call it mellow yellow. I don't know the lyrics to the song. It was just the message. Thread gold. Follow the feeling that pulls even when you don't understand it. Thread of gold. So we got this devil. These devils. So you got a devil. There's this situation advice, right? So she's up there wearing an angel's robes. This is really a low-level devil committed to bringing everybody else down because this is how they get rich. They got to harvest those who have value. So this Knight of Pentacles is being coached on how to go ahead and go rebind this person who has been emancipated. And they're doing it. Thread of gold. They need that thread of gold. They love gold. They love gold, and you're the gold. I've heard it said you're the ultimate sacrifice. So these are shapeshifters. Perhaps you are as well. They left you there, tied to that wheel, and it was just sucking the life out of you. You were all there by yourself. You did not complain, and you did not attack anybody. You did not become a beast of violence. You did not. You did not complain. You endured. And you are allowed to change. Your form is not your fate. So you changed. And a truth that you never said is still shaping your story. So you changed, and your story is still being painted across the cosmos. These people don't know what's going on. They bound you to this wheel, and they thought for sure that you were a goner. So they stopped paying attention, and you became free, and you got all this 10 of Cups. It's yours. You changed, though, and you're still changing, and your story is still being written. Your story of this thread of gold is still being written, and you got this devil in her angel's robes trying to coach this Knight of Pentacles on how to get up in there and get a contract. They need a relationship. May they never succeed or prosper in this way ever again. And may they be identified and stripped of those robes and that job, that position. We are in a sacred pause. The stillness is not punishment, it's preparation. So you've got this 10 of Cups here. They know that you got this. They had it. They lost you. You were it. And they decided to treat you as though you were the bottom. They side hustled your energy. They pimped your womb out, whether in the physical or in the unseen. They don't want to get released. They don't want to be liberated. Maybe they're not being liberated. They're not being liberated because of their side hustle. They didn't, yeah. So, yeah, they're not being liberated. You've let them go because of this stupid side hustle. We've got inspiration. Maybe people are inspired by you. They see what you've been through. And they can see this thread of gold, who you really are. Cosmic threads. So you're part of the universe. I mean, you're not earthbound. Like, they're like, oh no, how do we connect ourselves to this? We got to get this. So they're like, she's source connected. She's source connected. So they got these low-level devils. They got to get these trickster illusionists. They have to get themselves source connected so that they can get their white robe, right? Their sacrifice and their white robe. Cosmic threads, everything is woven. Trust in the invisible patterns of your life. So you've got cosmic threads of gold. You're an inspiration. You're releasing the side hustle or the side hustler. The pull. That magnetic draw isn't random. Something is meant to meet you. The cosmic threads, I've heard said that this is Divine Feminine's last lifetime story. She's no longer a prisoner of war. She's no longer going to be trapped here on Earth dealing with this kind of stuff. used as a battery, you know, this commodity. So somebody's worried. Their moon is here. Somebody's deceiving somebody with some sweet talk, but you stopped listening to the sweet talk. You know that when somebody's like, oh, be careful of what you say. I don't want anything to hurt you. Oh, I'm worried about you. Well, what is that? Oh, so you want me to be small, quiet, not bold like a lion. But you stopped making decisions based in fear, so you're not really listening to it, and they're uneasy. Spilled bottle. You say it doesn't matter, but part of you is still bleeding. So they're uneasy. There's a spilled bottle. You stopped making decisions based in fear. It's like, even though you're still bleeding, it's like, okay, so you live with the wounds, right? Yeah. So I'm bleeding a little, you know, but there's life to live. What are you going to do? So, they're uneasy. You're no longer making decisions based in fear. The wheel isn't turning for them. They're going to have to repeat some kind of a pattern. Whatever they did to you is going to be done to them. You're a beloved child of the Most High God, the Heavenly Father, or however that works out for you. You're grounded with the Mother. Like you're one of the standing ones in the forest. You are that tree of the planet, and you are one of the stabilizers of the planet. That's why they use you to bring temperance. That's why this big old sacrifice to the freaking goddess thing, because that's how they bring temperance to their low vibrational existence that they chose. They're losing signal. You're too high for them. You're vibing too high. So it's impermanence. You're being released, and they're losing Wi-Fi. Not every soul tie is forever. They're losing signal. King of Cups is in a Ten of Wands energy. He's overloaded. He could be burdened with some kind of a responsibility. There's shocking news. This woman that he's with is like, oh no, girl, your comfort zone was a trap. She did not generate any kind of creation. She didn't produce it or share it with anybody. She might be in Netflix jail because she might have just had sex and to frame people with some kind of defilement or whatever. Who knows? But the shocking news is that if they're stingy with chips, they're stingy with love. And in this particular instance, this individual, he was force-fed a storm while having the life sucked out of her, had to become the center, the eye of the storm. She had to claim the storm and become the eye of the storm. So while they were trying to suck the life out of her, she just claimed the storm that they were trying to destroy her with. And love. Mother Nature lives here. And they tried to force feed her a storm. She tried to elevate them to the highest level possible of the realm. And the first thing they did was drop to the bottom. They didn't like her attitude. Stupid. How dare she call you a son? Hold herself over everyone. We've got the quiet flame, soft but steady. Your inner fire is reshaping the world around you. Love is reshaping the world. Not this weird, offers some proposal, based on a 10 of cups that you're coming into, this side hustler. You're letting them go. You're like, the 10 of cups has let them go. They didn't get it. They're not getting it. We got a vanishing point and a door of no return. You could be walking through at some point. I don't know. Maybe you did. We got skybound. Whatever it is, this is her last lifetime story and it's just done. She disappeared inside of herself to survive. And we've got you split to survive. Now you're ready to return to wholeness. So the ghost of you and this person, like I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened, but you're coming back together and there's going to be a vanishing point. And this is her last lifetime story here as a prisoner of war or in this matrix or whatever. And she won't be back. She won't be back. It's energy. So if you resonate with this and you're a masculine, just go ahead and claim it. Do whatever you need to do. These fellows, they seem to think that as long as there's medicine of some sort or whatever, that they'll be able to use the body as some sort of a bridge and connector, and that they could maybe track perhaps where she winds up going. I don't know what their conversation is about. That's a potential, I suppose. They seem to still have a great deal of hope when it comes to having medicine in a body and their success story. You were never meant to stay grounded, so you're rising into your vision. Yep, because you're coming back together. They tried to force feed you their storm, their personal low-level devil storm. And you ate it up. Chaos became your superpower. Self-compassion, acceptance of a situation, treating yourself kindly when everybody else wants to stick a knife in it. You had to probably learn how to love yourself when everybody tried to make you forget how to do it. So you are very disciplined. You got very disciplined spiritual hygiene. You're saying no. You're setting boundaries. You've been empowered. So you're saying no to the phony trickster that was romanticizing their own low-level life. It's so wild, man. It's just so wild to me. I can't hardly believe that I'm channeling this stuff. But it's like the devil is like, he's out there crying. Oh my God, what happened? They lost her. They lost their cosmic queen. Their opinions don't matter. Their opinions were wrong. It was all an illusion. So freaking wild, man. We got unlocked. So the barriers have fallen. What you seek is now within reach. So the barriers are going up for the trickster, phony, illusionist, and you've got you've unlocked something, some barriers to the greater. Oh, and this false prophet. This false prophet was feeding on the light keeper and then claiming to be that. Drifting through the realms is coming to a velvet ending. It did not have to be violent to be final. The Hanged Woman, your sacrifice is bringing you abundance of new insights. You were innocent of what they had layered you with. You have wonderful spiritual hygiene. You're not this nasty devil mess. You could have washed off the illusion, become a master alchemist. So there's commitment, teamwork, skill. Somebody, the irresponsible, the immature, those who, there's no excuses for what was going on. They're not getting what they wished because of listening in on your intellectual property, your secret messaging. So they're not getting what they want because they're very irresponsible. With the history of listening in on your intellectual property and what they did with it. Sacred pause. This stillness is not punishment, it's preparation. So there's preparations being made. A sacred pause before you go through the door of no return. Judgment is here on those who are casting love spells over people, comparing themselves to others and your mind. They might have thought that, you know, this Empress's source connection, she's way up there, and these low-level devils wanted to be that, so they found a way to hack into the original organic communications device of the divine, and then they, you know, have been having a lot of fun. It was really difficult because their ability to drive radio programs through the receiver, and you can't shut it off because we don't have a freaking remote. They just run it through, and it's the same crap. And you're like, man, you know, and you got to go about your day and live your life while it's going on. And it's just stupid. But fortunately, you know, I don't know what happened. Obviously, nobody does, because you didn't attack anybody. You went quiet. They thought you were a goner. Eye of the void. You are not lost in the dark. You are being rewoven. So you may be, now that there's a sacred pause, some kind of a preparation, the barriers for wherever it is that you're going have been unlocked, while these guys are being locked down. It sounds like these side hustlers. They're really upset. They want to do a thing, you know, and they got military stuff, you know. It's just stupid because that, you know, you got folks out there who really want to live and birth creations of all kinds that are good, But then you got those, as fast as you can bring it into the world, they want to bring it out, you know? It's crazy. Shift it over to some other mutated timeline or something. So we got, it was very unjust, very heinous, everything that's been going on with this shady mask wearer, these pretend people wearing angels' robes, these devils, who are fake busy, living a life, a breezy, easy life of a twin flame, happily single in the funeral. They were siphoning the energy of the twin flame, keeping them apart. They were side hustling it, using the energy, playing at the signature, having that access to these upper dimensional spaces when they should never have been there. You are being rewoven, perhaps in the mental, so your mind may be like, I don't know what kind of trauma you may have suffered while dealing with all of this, but it wasn't very nice. Divine Masculine is setting up some lessons, karmic lessons for these people. I heard that whatever happened to you from the beginning to the end will be done to them. Because everything that they did, now that they lost the competition or whatever the heck that was, then everything that they did has to be done to them. And you're turning your back. These people are being rejected. We've got a masculine here who thinks he's some spiritual guy, but you're rejecting them and turning your back. Drifting realms. Let go of the map. You're meant to float for now. They could be talking about me. They're talking about medicine again. It's like they want to do some kind of a transfer. I don't know if it's Beam Me Up Scotty, some kind of weird particle event, you know? I don't know if it's in the 3D space or just in the other dimensional space. Stardust, he was never coming. You waited for somebody who only existed in your hopes. They play with we in these other 4D, these other dimensional spaces. They like walk up to us, pretend they're a friend. I love you. And then they want a contract, you know, and then they never show up. They're in this other dimensional space. They just need to connect to your thread of gold so they can harvest it. But you're no longer carrying dead weight. You're no longer carrying dead weight. And that song, oh, I'm no angel, that song keeps coming to mind, you know, and I don't know, wherever they're at, whatever dimensional space they're in, they got this, this feminine that's looks like an angel, talks like an angel, but they're not. They're a bunch of devils attached to the thread of gold, these cosmic threads that are attached to the wealth, and it's just this weird side hustle, man. A weird side hustle. There's awakening light. A new clarity rises within you, ready to guide your steps. And the return. What once felt lost is making its way back to you, reborn, rewoven in this sacred pause. Because the barriers between you and what had kept you trapped here as a POW have fallen. So there's big shifts. Something may or may not happen on May 8th or 9th. That seems to have the unseen masculine side hustlers concerned because they don't seem to know what they're going to do about that. Signs are flashing. We've got, so the threads are here. Fragments of infinity. You hold pieces of everything you seek. It's like time. And that was one of the messages that I got some time ago. I was told to remember time. I still don't know what exactly that means. Because, so many of us, we're born in this 3D space. Somebody had stolen our spiritual identity. They've been walking around in these other dimensional spaces, these spirit spaces, agent smithing our dreamer self as we're sleeping, and doing some weird things. Weird. But now everything is seen, so that's good. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that this brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. It sounds to me like love is getting ready to do whatever. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work out. But we do have some devils here that are going through some kind of an ego death and a downward spiral because they don't actually belong in the frequency that they have been able to have access to with this stupid medicine. It's like by using your temple as a bridge and a connector with this, whatever's in the medicine, they can kind of tap into the consciousness and whatever that source connection is, and then kind of, I don't know, travel back and forth and kind of mess around in that space. This medicine, there's got to be a solution for that. Anyhow, that's the message, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.